made, you never delayed. You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in an offer, you didn't have to say. I got it made for real. It's been like God in here. Bitch got that grace appeal. They stick with annoying, what else am I supposed to feel? Won't you come here, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I won't interfere. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange, that's a chandelier. Get a show ready where you set it up,
it's a grand premiere. This girl talking gotta make them feel I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper hand, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, from Father to Son like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Why won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And welcome to the F.L.Y show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. I am your host, Jasmine D. Millage, and I want to welcome you all back here, to everyone that is returning. And if you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me make sure you all can hear me because I'm trying a new mic tonight. All right, we are good to go. So, again, welcome to the F.L.Y show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. And I am yours truly, Jasmine D. Millage, and I am excited about the topic that we are talking about tonight. But before we get into that, can we just talk about Georgia and this snow? I hope everyone is safe. I hope your families are safe. I hope you're in your home and you have all the essentials that you need. I hope you have everything that you need in this season, going through this winter transition, because it is a lot going on, right? So again, I'm praying everyone is safe, but let's dive into what we're going to be talking about tonight. The topic for tonight, I know we was here last week, and I dropped a little bit. Tonight we're gonna be talking about defying the odds of self-sabotage, right? And it has been like just sticking with me so much because I know what self-sabotage is like. Because if you all know, I used to do this show, faithfully every single week, and I dropped off the face of social media. I will post here and there, but I stopped doing my show. And I'm gonna get into a little bit about why self-sabotage stopped me from doing my show, right? So what we're going to be doing tonight, the goal of tonight, if as far as breaking down, define the odds of self-sabotage, it is to empower you to break free from the bondage that is holding you back from being your true authentic self and gaining the power to what? To fly. And the F.L.Y again stands for First Love You. Defying self-sabotage matters because it is now time that we stop, having these coping mechanisms instead of dealing with our stressors and our past traumas. And excuse me if I'm looking left and I'm, if or however my eyes are shifting, but I'm looking at my notes right here. So if you see me looking over here looking like that, I'm just reading my notes, y'all, because it's a lot that we got to break down tonight. So self-sabotage, it is very tricky, and it is here to steal, kill, and destroy. Can I just say that, right? It's like the enemy. It is here to snatch your confidence. It is here to end relationships. It is here to stop your personal success. It is here to, to wipe out your self-esteem. Yeah, that's what self-sabotage is. That's the main goal of self-sabotage. In case you didn't know, now you know. And I know this for a fact, and I know it to be true because, again, like I just said, it was me saying negative things to myself and speaking negatively to myself that caused me to stop my show. It caused me to stop speaking. Like, I just didn't want to do it anymore because I was like, who am I? What type of message am I going to be able to give to someone? I'm not where I want to be. I'm not in a position that I want to be in. Who am I that someone is going to listen to me? Well, when you're in a situation like that, those are the moments where you need to keep going, and you have to keep pushing. You have to stay on task. You have to stay, true to your goals. You have to stay in alignment. You have to stay in the will of God and doing what he called you to do, because when you don't, you allow the things that you feel about yourself, and you allow the enemy to whisper in your ear, and you take on the things that he's telling you, and you take on the things that he wants you to believe about yourself. And then you feel like, oh, okay, well, I just don't matter. I just can't make it. Who am I to think I can do this? Who am I to feel like I can achieve and accomplish anything? Who am I to feel like I can't have this bank account that I want? Who am I to feel like I can have this house that I want? You are exactly who are you supposed to be. And tonight we're going to be breaking down 5 ways that you can defy the odds of self-sabotage. Okay. And so what is self-sabotage? Basically, let's start there. Self-sabotage is a pattern of behaviors that hinders a person from being successful or happy. It is, again, meant to come in and suck the life out of whatever you got going on, however you feeling. It is meant to come in here and just be a Debbie Downer, a party pooper, whatever you want to call it. That is its job, to come in here and steal, kill, and destroy. And I know for a fact, I don't know about you because I can't say for you, but for me, I know that the enemy's job is to make me feel like I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing. His job is to make me feel like I can't go above where I am right now, that I'm just nothing or I'm just nobody. And what it also causes you to do, it causes procrastination. It causes you to want to start something, but you want it to be perfect before you release it. And that causes you to stall. It causes you to not start when you're supposed to start. You had a deadline on when you were supposed to start that business. You had a deadline on when you were supposed to go back to school. But because you are believing that you can achieve it, and you're believing that you can accomplish it, you're allowing that self-sabotage to talk you out of what your dreams and your goals are. So instead of you telling yourself that you can do it, it may take some time, but it is achievable. You're saying, okay, well, what if I don't? You're asking the what if questions, right? And so what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about the fear of failure, fear of success, or having low self-esteem. You got to find the alignment with your inner beliefs. And also self-sabotage comes from not dealing with past or present traumas. It could be something that you're going through right now, or something that you went through when you was a kid. If you have not dealt with what you went through, if you have not dealt with that heartbreak, that relationship, that divorce, that loss of a job, that grief, that loss of a family member, if you have not dealt with that, that can fester inside of your mind, that can fester inside of your spirit, and it will give you the sense or the thought of being or of having low self-esteem, and it will automatically start whispering sweet wrongs in your ear. You know what I mean? And so instead of you telling yourself, okay, well, just take a step back, take your time, instead of you doing that, you automatically give yourself an F before you even start taking the test, right? How many times have you sat and told yourself, girl, you can't do that. I don't even know why you even trying. Nah, man, she ain't gonna even want to talk to you, or he don't like me, or whatever the case may be. I'm not qualified for that job. Who am I to be sitting up here, telling you about self-sabotage? Who am I? I'm gonna tell you who I am, right? And we're gonna be digging into 5 ways, again, 5 ways on how to defy the odds of self-sabotage. How can we cross over the hump of ridiculing and doubting ourselves? We have to let go of these limited beliefs. We got to let it go. The number one thing that I know we must do is we got to recognize the patterns of self-sabotage. We have to understand how and what our triggers are. We have to understand, we have to know if we're in a situation, we're going to have to know that, okay, well, I'm looking at her on social media. I don't look like that. Or I'm looking at him, in the grocery store. My pecs don't look like that. I'm at work on my job and someone is always answering a question, or someone is always readily available. Someone always has an answer, or whatever the case may be. Who am I, to be the person that someone is going to go to? Who am I to be qualified for the job? I don't think I can get that. I don't think I could do it. And it automatically puts you in a psychological position to make you feel like you can't. It puts you in a position to where you're going to hinder yourself based on the things that you say, based on the way that you feel, based on the outlook that you think you're supposed to have. When you think you ain't gonna get it, you're setting yourself up not to get it. So you got to understand how to balance between. You got to understand how to balance, how to bounce up out of that. Not balance it, because we don't want to balance self-sabotage. We want to get up out of that. This is a whole new year, and what we don't have time to be doing is prolonging where we're supposed to be going, what we're supposed to be doing, and what we're meant to achieve. We don't have time for that. So you got to understand what your triggers are. Look at the situations that you're in. Not only that, offer like, and when you realize what your triggers are, when you realize the situation that you're in, write it down. So you have a way to understand. You got to break down, okay, well, I looked at, so and so's post today, and it triggered me to make me feel like I can't do that. I have a friend right now has lost over 100 some pounds. Matter of fact, let me take it even more personal. My dad has lost over 100 and something pounds. And I sit and look at my dad like, man, I wish I could do that. Nah, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I don't, I set my alarms. I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna work out, and I'm gonna get up at 5:30. I'm gonna get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do a 30-minute cardio and 15 minutes or whatever. That 5:30 alarm go off. Guess what it do? It go off. That 6 o'clock alarm go off. It just go off. That's 6:30, and next thing you know, it's time for me to get up and get my son ready for school. And I done missed a whole 2 hour opportunity for me to be able to do something for myself. All because I told myself, you gonna faint, or you gonna fall out, or you're not ready for that. You can't start. Who are you to prioritize yourself? Who are you to give yourself some time? And so I have to learn how to combat those moments. I have to learn how to speak life into myself. And that's the next thing. I have to pause and reflect on when I'm feeling like I'm stuck. I have to pause and reflect on what is causing me to have that mindset. What is it about this situation that makes me feel like I can't achieve it? Was it something that was told to me as a kid? Was it something that happened to me as a kid that made me feel like I can't achieve that? You have to learn what your triggers are before you open your mouth and sabotage the situation that God told you to go do, or whatever you put your mind to. Again, set number 2 is replacing those negative words with self-affirmations, right? You have to talk to yourself, and you have to talk nice. Like how that little thing that said talk nice to me. You got to talk nice to you. It ain't just no cliche saying. It's something that you have to do. It's something that you have to practice every single day. The impact of inner dialogue, it it can change the trajectory of how you view you, right? Affirmations are meant to affirm who you are. It's meant to affirm a goal that you will achieve. It's meant to affirm a position that you will be able to obtain. It is meant to affirm a house that you may be able to buy, or a career that you may be able to get. It is meant to affirm who God created you to be. So it's like you have to learn you gotta talk nice to yourself. I am the head and not the tail. You know what's in, I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm the lender and not the borrower. You know, I'm the first and not the last. The good shall finish first. You know, don't quote me. Again, I told y'all, don't quote me because I ain't no Genesis to Revelation Bible scholar. You gonna get it how I get it. I know enough to get me through there, right? But you understand what I'm saying. You have to speak these positive things to yourself, because when you neglect you can't. And I'm gonna put it to you like this: you can't take from your cup in order to fill somebody else. What you're giving someone else should be the overflow of what you're giving you, of what you're filling yourself up with. So what you have to understand is, instead of you running around to Jane, Sue, Jim, Paul, George, and Ringo, you got to focus on Jazz. You got to focus on whoever you are. You have to look at you got to stand 10 toes down and look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, look, I'm going to take you serious. I'm going to prioritize you. I'm going to put you first." Why? Because I'm the only, it's only one me. If I don't do it, ain't nobody else going to do it. You can't put you, there's only one way for you to, there's only one person that can put you first, and that's you. And do it the right way. But that comes with understanding who you are. That comes with knowing what you want to accomplish. That comes with knowing what your triggers are. That comes with understanding how to change your dialogue. That comes with understanding how to change what you say. That comes with understanding how to change your mindset, right? You have to learn personal development. You know what I mean? When you get into personal development, whether that's with reading the word, meditating, praying, listening to a positive podcast, listening to the Fly Show, whatever you feel like your personal development may be, you have to put that in as a prioritization on your schedule to say from 8 to 8:30 or from 8 to 9 o'clock every Thursday at 8 o'clock. I'm going to be tuned into the Fly Show, because I got to listen to what, I got to come in here and get these nuggets. I got to write down what I got to do. What's my next step? How can I keep moving? How can I accomplish what I'm looking to accomplish? You have to know how to, and again, I have to speak personally, because when it came to me, just kind of going back to what I said in the beginning of the show, I sabotaged myself a lot prior to where I am right now. Let me make that clear. I would ridicule the way I look. I didn't like how I sound. I didn't like, and it made me feel like I was burnt out. I was pulled in all directions. I was going left. I was going right. I was going front. I was going back. I was going catty cornered, sideways, northwest, southwest, whatever way you can think of. That's the way that I was going, all based on what I was saying to myself, because I was not speaking what I needed to hear to keep me on a positive path. I was allowing the enemy to get me to the point to where I felt like I didn't deserve to keep going. I got to the point to where I felt like I deserved to be exactly where I was, and it was in the things that I said. It was in the way that I carried myself. It was in the way that I presented myself. And so I had to get to the point to where I had to, again, stand in the mirror and look and say, Jazz, you don't deserve this. There is something else that you're supposed to be doing. There is something greater on the other side of what you're telling yourself, but you got to get to that. So I had to learn how to develop positive affirmations for myself. I had to sit and look up positive things to say to me. And I have no shame in my game. I had to really Google what are some positive things that I can say to myself. And I had to start with a 10 list. I had to, because when I got to the point to where the things that I was saying spoke death and not life, that became a problem. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that I would speak over myself every day. I would say I am enough. I do not have to change myself to be enough. I love myself. I believe in me and what I'm capable of doing. I am smart. I am clever and I'm willing to learn when needed. I am strong and steadfast and can overcome adversity. I am safe and loved by my friends and family and those that know me, and some that don't. It is okay to be proud of myself, my accomplishments, because I work hard for them. I trust my decisions and the instincts that I have. It is okay to listen to my heart and trust better judgment, even if it goes against the advice of someone else. I am important, and my presence is important to myself and to other people. When I started speaking just those 10 things over myself, it made me look at me a whole lot different. And it made me realize that it's something else that I'm supposed to be doing. I can't throw in the towel and give up. I can't sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, now you don't need. No, I can't do that because I got something to do. So I had to learn how to be like, okay, girl, get in here and we gonna get this thing done. So that led me to my next thing. I had to learn how to set clear and manageable goals because the things that I was saying to myself that I didn't like, I had to learn how to change it. I had to fix it. I had to look at myself. I had to sit there and look at myself like, you know, good and well, you don't need to be looking like this. So what do I have to do? I had to take my health back in control because I had to hold me accountable for that. I can't hold nobody accountable for that because can't nobody help me get healthy but me. I have to be the deciding factor. You may want to. You may look at me and be like, Jay, get it together. You may want to do it. You may want to, you can say it, but it's up to me to give into account for it. And I can say, being honestly speaking, my highest weight, and I ain't got no shame because that ain't my weight no more. My highest weight was 340 pounds. 340 pounds. And I'm a small lady. I'm 5'4", even though I feel like I'm 6 feet. But that's none of your business. Okay. I'm 5'4". 340 pounds on a 5'4" frame is detrimental. That's morbidly obese. You on the brink of having a heart attack, a stroke, all kind of stuff, heart disease. Everything is open for you to get it because I was health wise declining, high blood pressure, borderline diabetic, on blood pressure medicine, having to monitor my blood pressure every single day, taking a water pill because my body was retaining fluid. So I had to understand, Jazz, you got to get it together. You have to get it together because if you don't, you on your way to a funeral home and you on your way to having 3 motherless children. So I had to set clear, manageable goals, starting with my health. Okay, we ain't gonna go through the drive-through 4 times this week. We gonna go 1 time. And when we go, you're not getting anything, right? You're gonna start cooking your meals. Meal prep. I started with just meal prepping and drinking water because, baby, when I tell you water was not a fluid that I craved. It was not. It was not. I just didn't like it, and I didn't want it. I went one time. Don't do you know what I mean? Don't judge me, okay? But I remember I went one time. Let's see, it was 2 or 3 months with no water. Ended up going to the hospital and had to end up staying overnight because I was extremely dehydrated. Like they had to hook me up to fluid immediately. And that fluid ran all night long to get me hydrated because I was just that dehydrated, right? So I had to set manageable goals to get my body in order. Okay, you're going to drink a half a gallon of water today and slowly increase it. You're going to detox. You're going to meal prep. You're going to come off of the table salt or whatever the case may be. And not only that, I had to set a goal for me to even come back and start my show. January the 9th, you going back on the show. You're starting, you're going to finish what you're starting. No matter what it looks like, no matter how it goes, no matter what platform is on, you're going to finish what you started because that's what you're supposed to be doing. And you ain't finna make God's word out of a lie. Right? So, and I had to learn how to celebrate small wins. I had to celebrate myself. Whether the room was quiet and I was the only one clapping, or whatever I did and I'm the only one clapping. And just kind of share a little tidbit. I'm Monday. I'm in school right now, finishing my bachelor's degree. Monday is my last day, and I will officially be finished with my bachelor's program. That's something that I told myself, okay, you started school, you need to finish it. Now, if I go back, I don't know. I don't know what God may have for me. I don't know. But I did it for myself, and I encouraged myself every single step of the way. And not only that, this leads me to my fourth tip. Build a support system. Build the right support system. Let me say that. Build the right support system, because we can have people that, we reach out to. We can have people that we talk to all the time. We can have people that we say, hey, girl, giggle, giggle, kiki, and ha, ha. But are they really encouraging you to keep it moving? Are they encouraging you when they see you down? Is someone in alignment with you that they know, hey, sis, I just want to check on you. Hey, bro, I just want to reach out. Do you have people like that show you that support, that got your back, and ain't just looking to get the inside scoop of what you got going on to go run back and tell it to somebody else? Build your support system. Start, even if you got to start with one person, because you got to have somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Because clearly, and again, I speak personally, clearly, I was not the one that was holding myself accountable. It wasn't me. Because I was the one that got me where I was. So how could I trust myself to hold me accountable? I had to find someone that was able to hold me accountable until I was strong enough to do it for myself. And even now that I know that I'm strong enough to do it for myself, I still have accountability partners. I still have someone that will call me and he will check me. And she will check me. I got a couple of them that will put me in my place and be like, I know you tripping. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Go ahead and get it on out the way, because when you get done, we need to set up a game plan. Because I understand and I hear your problem. And I understand and I hear what you're going through, and I hear how you feel. And it's okay to feel like that. You are right to have those feelings. But now that we know those feelings, how can we find a solution to the problem? That's the type of support system that you need. Find someone that it can be a friend, it can be a mentor, it can be a coach if you want to pay for a coach, or whatever the case may be. But find you someone that can stand there and hold you up, or that might let you fall and help you stand up again. Because you need that strong support system, because the battle that's exactly what it is. It is a battle. It's a battle. And self-sabotage is a war. And you need the right soldiers to help you fight this battle. And that starts with your support system. And finally, you got to practice self-compassion. Give yourself some grace, honey, because when you understand the power of grace, it gives you a sense of humility, and it keeps you humble, and it lets you know that I am human and I am going to make mistakes. I may not always get it right, I may not always show up the way that I'm supposed to, but the thing is, I'm going to show up. Having self-compassion and giving yourself grace builds your resilience, and it makes you want to move further. It makes you want to keep going. It makes you want to get back up and dust yourself off and keep it pushing. It makes you want to pull yourself out of the mud. Go wash off, cleanse your face, and get yourself together. Hold your head up high and stick your chest out. It makes you want to keep going. Show yourself a little grace. It's all right, because you ain't perfect. No one is perfect. And yes, I said you ain't. I said what I said. You ain't perfect. When we get into our mind that nothing's perfect, it will give you the permission to breathe. It will give you the permission to say, okay, I can just start. Just start. It ain't gonna come out the way you want it to. It ain't gonna be okay. I'm gonna start going live tomorrow and I'm finna get 20,000 subscribers. It ain't gonna be I'm gonna start school tomorrow and I'm gonna finish on next Friday. That's not how it's gonna work, because it's a process. You got to give yourself grace through the process, because when you don't give yourself grace through the process and be compassionate to yourself, you quit, you give up, and you call yourself a failure, and you tell yourself you ain't gonna never make it, and you start to feel like it's not for me, when it really is. You just have to tell yourself that. You have to give yourself a little space to make mistakes. Give yourself a little space to fall. Don't be so tight. Don't be so tightwad on trying to have everything in line. You can't do that, because that's not God's design. When you give yourself grace, again, it feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like, okay, I can continue to climb this mountain. I can continue to get through this valley, because I know out of this valley is gonna be straight way. I'm gonna be able to see clear. I'm gonna get out of this fog. I'm gonna get out of this mist, because I gave myself grace. Just say, I had to tell myself, you know what, Jazz, all right, you took a year off. You was gone for a minute. Now it's time to come back. It's time to come back and do what you got to do. It's time to come back. It's time for you to come back and do and be who God created you to be. And you want me to tell you what that came with also? That came with forgiveness. I had to forgive myself for not showing kindness to myself. I had to forgive myself for the negative words that I've said to myself. I had to forgive myself for not prioritizing myself. Y'all see this head rag on my head? Because I ain't want y'all to see my hair tonight. But tomorrow, I'm going to go prioritize me. Saturday, I'm going to prioritize me. I wasn't doing that within this last year. And if I'm being completely honest and transparent, well, no, I say that for another show. Being completely honest and transparent, let's just say I didn't think I would be here today. And I'll keep it right there. But I want you to remember that mistakes are part of your growth. Failing may be a part of the process. Not getting it right is a part of the process. But what you have to understand is, when you fail, when you don't get it right, when you make a mistake, you are just human. And you have to give yourself grace. Right? And when you do that, this is what you're going to get. You're going to be able to recognize your patterns. You're going to be able to catch your triggers. Just going over a brief summarization of what we've talked about tonight, of recognizing your triggers. You're going to be able to replace your negative self-talk with daily affirmations. You're going to be able to set clear goals, even if you start small. You're going to have the support system that you've always dreamed of, because you're now clearly seeing who you are. And you're going to be able to practice daily self-compassion. And when you do this, you will defy the odds of self-sabotage. Defying the odds of self-sabotage starts with loving you enough to believe that you deserve to be happy and successful. So my challenge for you this week and going forward is to choose one area that you sabotage yourself, focus on that, and work on it. Right? I want to invite you back here next Thursday to the Fly Show. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Define the Odds of Self-Sabotage, right? We have to, get over the stigmatism and let go of these coping mechanisms of trauma and being bound and dealing with bondage. We gotta let it go because we over here minding our own little self business and we got work to do. And we can't do our work if we telling ourselves that we won't finish. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. This has been yours truly, Jasmine D. Millage, right here on the Fly Show, where the Fly stands for First Love You. And remember to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. And I'll see you next Thursday. Good night, everybody.
I'll be your temple.